Yo, what's going on, guys? Now back at it again with another deck profile. I know I profiled this deck a lot during the times I've made this channel, but this deck, this leader constantly just does really well for me. There's many different versions I've played, so I decided to just bring this back into a tournament. I had fun, I topped, I did well, and I just want to show you the deck. This is really it's kind of like a little bit of what up to date of what a lot of players are playing for Vegeks. So if you guys don't know, Vegeks, it bursts 3 instead of 5. Burst 3 top 5, draw a card. Really easy. It's a 1/1 to awaken, or if you have 20 cards, and same thing. Over here, you draw a card, mill top 3, give you a unison, double strike. So I think everybody knows what this leader does. We'll just get this out the way. So we're going to play the staples. You're going to play your 4 unison. Well, actually 3. I don't play 4. I'll tell you why in a minute real quick. So this is what I play. You play from the starter deck, 4, 4, 4, and then I only play 3 unisons now. The only reason why I do that is because I really don't kind of look at the unison as a win con anymore. I really don't care if I mill into it or not. Most of the times, even if I do, like if you mill into this card turn 1, I recommend don't even play it. Just let it go to the drop, because your opponent is just going to keep swinging at it, and then now your leader is not going to have any way to generate a lot of cards in hand because it can't take any life. It doesn't self-awaken. And these are just the staples. Blocker. This card removes anything that is 3 or less by paying 2 energy. So this gets rid of any skill lists. Like if you're playing against Icarus, just keep removing from play the skillless cards, and they'll be unable to take advantage. And this Supreme Kai of time, just super combo. Basically, it's a super combo. So that's what you want to play. Up next, for your super combos, you want to play 4 SS Vegeta, the Prince Strikes Back, just because we are going to play the Fusion, the SS3 Gogeta toward the Dark Empire. So this is a piece that you want. Put down any card that's, whack in your hand. Just put it in the bottom of the deck and draw 2. For your Self-Awakeners, you're going to play 3 Dark Power Black Mass Saiyan. This is one of your turn 1 plays. You're just going to draw, you're just going to play it and just leave it there on the board. And just only attack when really needed. Only attack whenever you need to get rid of something on the board. If your unison's not on play, I really don't attack with these guys. I usually just keep them on board and just let them chill and punch the opponent's hand with warping. What we also play is 4 Son Goku True Fighting Spirit. So this card is really powerful. Has Deflect. Whenever the opponent activates a counter card, they have to warp a card from their hand once per turn, and it stacks up. And here's a little advice that I want to give to you guys, to anybody that plays black. Don't super spam these. What I'm trying to say is, if you have already 1 on the board and you have like 2 in the hand, don't try to spend 2 energy immediately. Depending on your matchup, depending on the color that you're playing, make sure that you still have cards in your hand, because I've seen a mistake that players would do something like this. They'll have like 2 Gokus on board, and then next turn, or like if they play against green, they get dormant and the Gokus are gone. Yeah, you warped, they lost 3 cards from hand, but overall, if you would just get the cards right, they would have lost the card from this effect, and then just pay another energy to play another one. So don't start spamming these guys on board until you have a really good setup. That's just my opinion. You do what you want with it. And for our last Self-Awakener, we play Vegeta True Fighting Spirit. This is now an additional that I add in the deck. Like I said, pieces for Gogeta. If you don't know what he does, Deflect, take a card from your life, swing and gain 10k. And then once per turn, if your opponent's leader, whenever your opponent basically switches one of their energy to active mode without using an awaken skill, they have a warped card from their hand. So this really hurts yellow, okay? Not yellow, blue a lot, or even blue yellow. So anything that blue really has, it just really punishes them. So it puts some pressure on the board. And let me show you guys. For some of the other cards that I play too, you want to play 3 Kawatsukais. I think, like I said, this is kind of self-explanatory. I was going to play 4, but I think 3 is fine, because usually if you play your cards right, like by turn 3 or 4, you're going to just start using them. Just use 1 energy, because this deck, you don't spend a lot of energy in this deck. You're usually spending 1 to 2 energy per turn, and that's really it. You're not tapping out a lot. You're really just much going in. And Kawatsukai is just really amazing. Just remove it from the game, and then you can recycle any cards that you need to put under the deck to draw that same amount. Can be up to 2. And then for the rest of the turn, the opponent has the Warp 2 cards if they're going to play anything 20k or less. So this really hurts a lot of yellow decks. This really hurts green. This basically hurts every color. It even hurts black. Black has cards that negate and stuff, so in terms of battle cards. And for another negate, we play is Supreme Kai of Time, Time Labyrinth Unleashed. She's really amazing. You can actually have this card basically live at turn 2, turn 3, and it's a counterattack negate that turns into a 1-drop for 1 energy, basically, if either player has, I think, 3 or more cards in their warp. So for you, that's really easy. Like by turn 2, you can have it done. And if your opponent is getting their cards warped, but they play black as well, you know, it just turns it on. And I would say that this card is a secret rare killer, because when she gets played, she actually warps a battle card on the board, and then it comes back at the end of the turn with the skills negated. But if you warp, you know how all the secret rares now kind of have an effect that they, if they leave the battle area, they're removed from the game. So you just play her, and then you'll just warp, you'll warp or basically technically remove one of their secret rare battle cards, and it can't come back. So this is really good, and she basically stops 2 attacks. A new negate that I added in, I was going to play 2 of, but I wanted to see how it is with 1. I think I'll start playing 2. Oceanus Shinron, Negative Energy Explosion. This card is powerful. You don't play Vegeks the same way that you do anymore. You don't go super aggro. You don't do that. You play mid-range first when you have 4 or 5 energy. Then you really start pushing in for game. So to give yourself an extra turn to guarantee that you get that extra energy, you're going to play this. So basically, Oceanus, you pitch your card. It's a 5-drop, turns into a 2-drop on your opponent's turn. You'll pitch your card. You play Oceanus. If you're able to play Oceanus when this happens, for the rest of the turn, the opponent has to send the top 4 cards of their deck to the drop area in order to attack no matter what. And it's a blocker. So the first attack will always just, okay, you're going to mill 4, block. Very, very, very powerful card. I'm actually going to recommend to just add an extra one in. Where else am I at? So for actually, let me go to this. And you know what this is, double strike. That's all. Just do it with any of your cards. Of course, your Unison's going to have double strike, but it's always safe to have a double strike, especially when you choose the option, because I also use this card to remove 2 markers from opponent's battle cards if I need it. If I play against blue and they have 3 markers on their Unison, I'll attack with something, double strike. Now it turns off their free counterplay, so that's what I just recommend. Always have something like this, and choose the option. Okay. And now we'll go for the Overrealm. And like I say, of course, we play the Gogeta package. We play 4. SS3 Gogeta Thwarting Dark Empire has unique double strike. You can Overrealm it for 1 black energy of 6 for Overrealm, Overrealm 6. And then you can also use it to fuse as well for 1 black energy. And you can fuse from the warp. Yeah, from the warp, you just send the pieces to the drop area to play this guy, and whenever he attacks, he warps a battle card. Whether his attack goes through or not, whether it gets negated, it will remove anything. It's a board control, and it adds on a lot of pressure. So definitely you want to play 4 of this. What you also want to play is 3 Demon God Demigra True Power Unleashed. I'm actually thinking about actually just adding in a 4th. Not saying that I'm able to put a whole bunch of this guy on board. At most, you'll have 2 on board if you play your cards right. By turn 2, I will tap out for this. I will tap out for this card on turn 2, draw a card, warp a battle card, I will attack and start warping their hand. If they have a unison on board, I'm just going to always keep attacking to warp cards from their hand. And if you have Goku True Fighting Spirit on board, they are going to lose 2 cards. If you do Kawitsu Kai, they're going to lose 3 cards. So if they have unisons on board, just keep attacking. Yes, it's a powerful 30k. Of course, it's kind of like free damage for early game. If you have unisons on board, I'm just going to punish your hand. What we also play for the Gogeta package as well, we play 2 SS4 Vegeta, Fringing Greeting, and 2 SS4 Son Goku, Beyond All Limits. So if you guys don't know what they do, you've been living on a rock, both in 30Ks, both have Overrealm 6. And the Vegeta has an auto. When he gets played, you just warp a card. They have to warp a card from their hand. And then the Goku, when he gets played from Overrealming, you get to choose a black battle card with energy cost of 3 or less. And you get to, from your warp, and add it to your hand. So basically, it makes, if you think about it, it's as if you're playing an additional 2 more cards of everything. So basically, it's like as if I play 3 Oceanas, or if I play 5 Demigras, 7 SS3 Gogetas. What else do I have in here that I play? I'm just trying to remember these cards. You know, 4 Supreme Kai of Time, and so it just gives you a whole lot of value adding cards from your hand, and like I said, fusion pieces as well. Okay. Some other Overrealms we play 2 SS4 Barter, Fighting Against Fate. I think everybody knows what this card does. It's just an Overrealm 6 dual attackers. And you just attack twice when it just exhausting, putting pressure on the opponent's board, you know, just attacking the opponent's battle cards. It's annoying. I usually kind of just play this late game, to be honest, man. You know, if they have like 3 life and I have a double striker on board, I just play this, attack, attack, attack. And they're going to have to waste, you know, 4 to 6 cards. You know, if they don't have any super combos or 10Ks, that's 6 cards they lose from their hand. And they're not really going to do that. What we also play for Overrealms, I play 3 Secret Entity Massane. To be honest, I really didn't play it a lot. Late in the tournament that I played in, I really didn't play this a lot, but I would still recommend players to keep it in your Vegeks deck just to get rid of anything. Overrealm 6, when this guy is played, you're going to choose any number of your opponent's battle cards, and you cost less of 6 or less, or that adds up to it, and you just send them to the warp. So this gets rid of tokens, especially like the token blockers. This get rid of, you know, anything that's just really annoying or problematic. I'd recommend to play this. For the secret rare, I actually play Rebelu Demigra's Secretary. This card is actually amazing. I think every Vegeks player, you know, if you don't have like secret rare Pan or something, or even Supreme Kai of Time, play this. This is the second cheapest like black secret rare to play, other than the Lineage. This right here is double strike. Dark Overrealm for 2 energy, at minimum 8 black cards, and if this card, you know, gets removed, reveal gets removed from the game. But this is what makes her so powerful. So when you play her and there's 4 more energy, you get to play up to 2 battle cards with the Overrealm keyword skill from your warp, and you play them on the field. Okay, so you have so many targets, man, so many targets. Usually this is what you really grab. You're gonna grab these guys right here. I'm not sure if you see them. These are like your really main targets, you know. You're gonna grab one of these. If you already have this on board, then get these 2 on the board. It's just gonna put a whole lot of pressure, because that would be 1, 2, 3, 4 attacks, you know what I'm saying? So you definitely want to do that. Those are your targets. And then also she has a skill to negate additional attacks by removing any card on your board that has the Overrealm skill. So these guys, they'll get Overrealm, this will get Overrealm, this will get Overrealm. So you'll just, that's 2 attacks you can actually negate. It's just a whole lot of pressure, which I really love. And then for extra cards, you know, we play 4 Power Burst. Basically, this is, to me, is just a negate draw draw 2, because with Sparking 5, you get to just take a life and activate this card for free, and then you'll grab one of your black battle cards, an energy cost of 1 from your drop or warp, goes to your hand. I was able to win a game like that because I had 3 Supreme Kai of times in my hand, the pseudo combos, and 2 power bursts, man. And okay, I'll combo, you know, they attack 20, okay, 25. Next attack is like, oh, okay, I'm gonna do that power burst, take a life, add Supreme Kai time, and just, it's just so powerful. It lets you grab anything, any 1-drops that you need. And then the last extra card I actually play, that's a negate, is not even a scratch. I was testing this out and I really love it. So if you guys don't know what this does, you negate an attack, right? And then for 1 energy, for the activate main, you're gonna remove this card from your warp, from your drop to your warp to draw a card. So a combo that you want to do, which is really self-explanatory, if it doesn't get milled by your leader, then you just do it with the SS go tanks, you know, fusion of friendship. You just pitch that, draw a card, so you get the card back basically. So anyways, I really love this deck, man. I think it's a fun deck. I hope you guys enjoy it and just continue to do well and continue to top and be safe, man. All blessings to you guys. Take care.